Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a marvelous day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. Okay, y'all. Can she do it? Can she do it? Can she put Tim Scott in the White House? This is Tim Scott's so-called girlfriend. He introduced her at the last Republican debate, ending months and probably years of speculation about his personal life. Tim Scott is 58 years old, never been married, he doesn't have children, and up until now, nobody even knew of any girlfriend that he's had. But the Republican donors that are backing him have been concerned about his image because they've been talking behind closed doors that he might be in the LGBTQ community. Sidebar: there are 3 black male senators in the U.S. Senate. Neither one is married. Raphael Warnock has been married, but he's not married now. But these Republicans want a wife and some children. So this woman has 3 children. So Tim Scott is doing something that the black manosphere doesn't like to see these so-called high-value black men do. And that is getting involved with a woman with children. So, still, this is a white woman, so the rules change when it's a Becky. But desperate times call for desperate measures. But still, this is a pleasant-looking Becky, and I think she's trying to do her civic duty by trying to make a Republican candidate acceptable to the base. Because in reality, nobody believes in this relationship, but it might be real. Whatever it is, it's probably some kind of a political hookup to make it look like he's a family values man. But the question is, will it work? Can she do it? Can she put him in the White House? Well, if she does, it's going to take some very heavy lifting on her part because Tim Scott is no Barack Obama. At least President Obama was able to charm us into voting for him. Tim Scott is of our ethnicity. He is an American descendant of slavery from South Carolina. You would think that he would have that on his mind as he goes about his political journey. But it's just the opposite. Whatever the Republicans are voting for, he's voting for it. Whatever they vote against, he votes against. And he had the nerve to stand up during the Republican debate and say that black people were coming back to the Republican Party. If black people are going back to the Republican Party, it definitely has nothing to do with him. Black people are going to the Republican Party because they're disgusted with the Democratic Party, and some black people really like Donald Trump. I don't get it, but they do like him. And there he was up on the debate stage trying to sound tough. Somebody else who didn't serve in the armed forces talking about going to war with Iran. That's all the Republicans know how to do. When they want to win or when they try to gain traction during the primary season, they start talking about going to war with somebody. Apparently what's going on in the Middle East now between Israel and Palestine doesn't faze him. Of all the carnage that we hear about the displacement of people and the suffering of the children, that doesn't mean anything. He's talking about going to war. It's ridiculous. And somebody posted this cartoon of him on X, and I just could not resist using it because to me, it just about sums him up. And for the life of me, I'm trying to figure out why this man is running for president. Conventional wisdom says he's really running for vice president, but he's not even a good candidate for vice president. The Republicans at this moment in time, don't have a good candidate for president, vice president, speaker of the House, secretary of state, or anything else, because they have drawn from the weakest of black American men, men who will not advocate for their own people and will take orders from the most right-wing faction of the Republican Party. If you don't have the courage to advocate for your own people, what makes anybody think that they would have the courage to do the right thing for America? Because there will come a time when that person would have to make a decision solely based on what they thought was right or wrong, or what they stood for. And when you don't stand for anything, you can be bought and paid for by anybody. So he decided to drop anchor with the Republicans and fall in lockstep with their talking points, including making an announcement that America is not a racist country. Now, there are many black people who feel that way, but the proof is in the pudding. And when you see the disparities in education, in healthcare, in employment, in housing, in policing, and you can still say that, you are a person who doesn't know what to do with information. For a black man to get up and say something like that takes a lot of guts, especially when he has acknowledged that he has been stopped by the police simply because he's black. But anyway, he has soldiered on, jumping in the presidential race, many say hoping to be selected as the vice president. But I don't see it happening because I don't really see any charisma with Tim Scott. I just don't see anything about him that would make me vote for him, even if I were a Republican. And this is the polling, and it looks like there are people that agree with me. Here is how they're stacking up right now. Overwhelmingly, Donald Trump is ruling this primary. And Tim Scott is way down there behind Mike Pence, who has already dropped out. And Vivek Ramaswamy, nobody even knew who he was. And he's ahead of Tim Scott, who has been in the Senate for a few years. So anyway, this is how it's looking for him, which I would say not very good, which is why I think he went and dragged up this white woman, maybe hoping that people are going to think he's some kind of macho Mandinka brother who can go out and sweep this blonde off her feet and bring her to the Republican debate. Well, let's wish him the best with that. But too many people are crying BS on this. People don't believe it because a 58-year-old man who likes women, most of us think that at some point, somewhere, he would have showed up with a woman, like most men do. Her name is Mindy Noce, and Tim Scott claims that they've been dating for several months. She is a Charleston-based interior decorator for a real estate company, and she is the mother of 3. And what they're saying is that her identity has been a closely guarded secret since the start of his presidential campaign, trying to make it seem like they've been dating ever since he started, but they've been keeping it a secret for what? Who cares? The only people who care are the ones that are backing his campaign, who realize that he's so plain and dull that a woman by his side will make him look better. So anyway, we will have to watch this couple to see how this relationship unfolds. It's none of our business, except he was the one brought her to the public. So, you bring it to the public is going to talk. But anyway, y'all, let me know what you think about this. Let me know if she can be of any help to him, let alone going to the White House. Is she going to be of any help to him? Let me know what you think. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Share the video. And as always, have a great day.